Hello, and welcome to another episode of CHS TV Remote Edition. I'm Kevin, and this week we have a great episode for you guys, including a new segment. But first, we'll go to Mr. Gorman for a principal's message.
Good morning, Cinnamons and Pirates. I hope this message finds you and your family well. Parents, you should have received in your email an invitation to participate in a survey about your child's experience since we have been online. Students, you will have a very similar survey in the Google Classroom stream for your homeroom on Monday. Please consider participating so that we can use that information to guide our continuing decision-making process. Your answers will remain anonymous unless you indicate your name at the end. We continue to make plans around several different versions of what the end of the year will look like and how we might be able to celebrate the closing of another year even if we are not allowed to gather in person. Thank you to all of those families who have sent ideas and suggestions. They have been very helpful, and many of them have already been implemented or incorporated in a version of our potential plans. We still await further guidelines from the governor about our return date and the rules under which we will be able to meet. However, the support from the community has been incredible, and we will be prepared to meet whatever those challenges are head on. Please join me in wishing a happy birthday to the following students: Kaya Bolton, Antonio Dos Anjos, Connor Deeney, Siani Robinson, Sydney Schweid, Molly Shearer, George Katsiosis, Lucas Santos, Brandon Hillwig, Aiden Quinwright, Rosanna Mendez, Kozik Quinn, Melissa Kuhn, and Nicholas Lukasienski. Happy birthday, and I hope you found a way to make your day special. Have a great weekend, and let's head back to Eddie.
Cinnamon High School is encouraging the class of 2020 to showcase their achievements by decorating your door. This can be a fun way to show off your creativity. Let's take a look at some of this week's submissions. Now let's send it to Dimitri with this week's Access F.
Hi, welcome to this week's Ask the Staff. This week we asked, what kind of music did you listen to when you were an angsty teenager? Let's see what they had to say.
The music I listened to when I was an angsty teenager is probably still the same music I listen to now. A lot of My Chemical Romance, Panic at the Disco. Those are all good ones.
I would say I listen to a lot of different types of music, not country. But when I was especially angsty, that would be Nirvana. Nirvana, and other types of grunge in the 90s.
Mostly hard rock and grunge.
I was all over the place. I really didn't have one genre of music that I liked. 311 and Foo Fighters were probably the two bands that I liked the most when I was a teenager. Listening now, I still like Foo Fighters a lot. Listening to 311 now as I'm a little bit older kind of makes me laugh with some of the lyrics and some of the music that they played.
Why'd I cry when I knew it was no end? Why'd I cry when I saw it was so much?
It would be rock and pop music.
I was a big variety. I pretty much listened to just about anything. The music I listen to is classic rock. I'm a product of the 70s, let's face it. That's where it is. So this is where I go when I need to find entertainment in music.
Everything from the 90s.
I was gonna say.
They were awesome.
Yeah.
Grunge.
Vanilla Ice?
Well, Vanilla Ice for half a year, and then he wasn't cool anymore.
No.
But yes.
And I was gonna say, and Journey for every time you had an emotional breakup, or you were just sad, or whatever.
The first thing that comes to mind is there's actually a song called Teen Angst by M83. I used to listen to M83 a lot. Let's see, like Interpol, The National, Elliott Smith, Nirvana, Depeche Mode.
I was a big fan of Public Enemy.
When I was in high school, I listened to Bruce Springsteen. I was mainly on WMMR listening to music on the radio.
Grunge. Actually, I wasn't a teenager, but I don't think hair metal counts. Go ahead.
I was a big time fan of Nirvana, Metallica, Pearl Jam, 9 Inch Nails when I was a little older.
Whatever was popular in the mid to late 90s.
808s and Heartbreak by Kanye West, always my favorite.
I love the Beatles and Queen, always have. But I really did get into the 80s new wave. Some Adam Ant, some Prince. Loved Tears for Fears.
When I was an angsty teenager, Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill, great album for angst.
I grew up in the 80s, believe it or not, and I grew up listening to a lot of punk rock music. Bands like Black Flag and the Dead Kennedys. Angsty, but calling for social change, that sort of stuff.
I listen to a whole bunch of different things, anywhere from Billy Joel to Culture Club to In Excess and Duran Duran.
Personally, I like to listen to a little bit of rock. Now to Sarah with this week's new segment, New Face, Who Dis?
This week we have a new segment called New Face, Who Dis, where we post a picture on our Instagram story and you can guess who it is. This week we posted 2 pictures. The first one, Matt's or her cock, and the second, Kylie Hess or Amanda Forrest. Here are the results for our teachers. Congratulations to 75% of our viewers who guessed our very own Brit, Mr. Hercock. On our second poll, 90% of students guessed Amanda Forrest. And you are correct. Go follow CHS_TV_broadcasting to participate in our weekly polls. Make sure to turn on notifications for our Instagram story so you can guess who the next photo is. Now over to Maddie with the weekly report.
Thanks, Sarah, and welcome back, Pirates, to this week's Weekly Report. Some great news received from Governor Murphy this week, as that starting tomorrow, May 2nd, state parks and parks in our town, such as Wood Park and Memorial, will reopen for the first major change to lift coronavirus lockdown orders. The restrictions of social distancing will still be in place, and mainly the parks will be reopening their fields and walkways, although playgrounds and restrooms will still be off limits. We still recommend you to wear face coverings at these locations due to the possibility of passing someone else. In other news, a local restaurant, Sweetwater Bar and Grill, located right here in Cinnaminson, will be reopening up for takeout and curbside pickup on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, with pickup starting from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. Take this opportunity to order Cinnaminson favorites to go and enjoy them in the comfort of your own home. During this quarantine, please make sure to continue to support local small businesses as we try our best to flatten the curve and resume normal living. Thank you, and now to Kevin.
Thanks, Maddie. From all of us at CHS TV, we hope you stay safe and healthy during these difficult times. Have a great weekend.
That's as good as it's gonna get.